Hello and welcome back to KNF Design. If you're new here, my name is Katie and I try to bring a wide variety of different craft projects to you. If you ever have a craft project you would like me to show you how to make or just want to see me try to make it, let me know down below and I'll try my best to bring that to you. If you like today's craft project, make sure to hit those thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps bring my crafting videos to more crafters like you. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you don't miss out on any of our crafting fun. So with that, let's get crafting. I mentioned wanting to try out some kits so I could see if they're worth it or not. So far I've only looked at kits, got ideas, and then bought the stuff cheaper. But when I saw this one at Hobby Lobby for $21, I thought it was a good price because these little wooden bowls can get quite pricey, and that alone can be $20, and then it also comes with the wax. So I thought this would be a great kit to sample to see how it is. It's a melt and pour candle, dough bowl candle, and it says it includes everything you need, so we'll see if it does. And it's a soy wax candle. I did open it just to see the instructions. But it looks like it has your cups to mix our wax in a wax, and even comes with the wicks, spoons, and all of that good stuff. I don't know, I might use these wicks, or I might use, I also really like the look of the wood wicks. So, and I do have a couple of those, so we'll have to see if I decide to do their wicks or the wood wicks. I don't actually plan on burning this candle. I think I'm just going to use it for decoration, and I'm going to upscale it a little bit. So we'll make the kit and then I'll add to it. And I will probably add a little something to this candle too. I found this and just thought it was beautiful. And so we'll add a little extra to that one as well. So let's see what's inside. You have your bowl. And this is about 10.5 inches by almost 6 inches. The actual inside is 9 by 4.5. Just little quick rough estimates for you. It's not very deep, so there's really not a lot of wax going to be in here, but that's fine with me. Like I said, I'm not using it to get a long-lasting candle. I want to use it for decorations. And then our instructions. Cups are really nice and big. It'll probably be like a double boiler so it doesn't get too hot or wax. We have a nice big thing of wax, so I'm curious if we will use all of it. The popsicle sticks with the hole in them, which is used to hold our wicks in place, a little sticky to hold our wicks in place, and the wicks. This looks like one of those things to probably to go on our cups here to hold it so it's not too hot. And a vanilla scent. It even comes with a scent, so that's nice. I didn't realize it came scented. That's everything in a kit. So it's not too bad for 20 bucks. Alright, so the instructions. We gotta prepare it by adding the popsicle sticks, the wicks, and then the little sticky dots all here to get it all set up. And then we are going to pour our wax into our cups and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. So super easy to do. No stoves or anything complicated like that. So we'll put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, stir it with a little stirring stick here. It's a little metal stick they give us. And then it says about 4 to 6 minutes in total of this, but you'll put it in for 30 seconds, stir it, another 30 seconds, stir it. Don't do more than 30 seconds at a time, otherwise you'll burn your wax. And yeah, just the double is what you need, so you only put the wax in the top one, and the second one kind of helps it double boiler so it doesn't burn our wax. And once the wax is fully melted, you can add your fragrance, and it just says add a few drops at a time until the desired aroma is achieved. So kind of would be nice if it told me a rough estimate of how many to do, but that's all right, we'll just kind of go with it. And then it says to let it cool for 24 hours, trim the wicks to 1/4 of an inch before lighting. So pretty straightforward there. I love that it even comes with your warning sticker, and they tell you to put the warning sticker on the bottom when you're finished. It just says it's fire. So, you know, your basic instructions like that. Before we make the kit itself, I just wanted to mention it does recommend you put it on a level surface. I bought this back in December, November, when I was doing some soap making, and it's also great for resin. It's just something I have. It's a little table that's self-leveling, so I'm going to be using that just to set my candle on, but it's not needed. And then I'm going to make flowers to put on top of my candle. And again, these were also made in that December summit, 12 days till December that I do. So this is actually a soap that you can wash your hands with. I think they turned out beautifully, and I'm going to use these same molds to make wax for melt some wax down into those molds and put those flowers on this candle and this one. So I have several different flower molds that we can use, and I'm just gonna gradually melt down some used candles and fill these, let them harden, and then have a bunch to pick from to add to our candle. I'm going to just use a lighter to heat up this once it's fully hardened, to then add these flowers once they are finished as well. And since these molds are pretty small, I think I'm just going to use a candle warmer to warm up my candles to then pour them into the molds, because I don't need a lot. I don't need to use this and warm up and use up this whole entire candle for these couple of molds. Especially since I can't fill this one multiple times, I'll have to wait, punch it out, heat this up, pour it in, and repeat. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do the candle warmer. I have showed you how to warm up candles in an oven. I've seen people do it on the double boiler on the stove, like a pot, and then there's one in water, and do it. I personally like the stove if you're doing like the whole candle itself. Just make sure that you put the candle in while it's heating up. Like start with a cold oven, turn on the heat, get it up to the temperature with that candle inside. And I also like to put my candles on a cookie sheet or something. That way the glass does not break on you. You don't want to put cold glass immediately into a hot oven. You want it to gradually get hotter with that temperature of the oven. I'll try to remember to link a post down below that I've done where I show you how to make fun candles and have the temperatures for heating it up in the stove if you're needing that. And I have a bunch of different candles. Some are colored. Some have already been used. We're just kind of using up what I have on dash here. I think for this one I want to keep my flowers all white, but this one that has a little bit of that rose gold, I might do slight pink tints to some of my flowers. We will see how it turns out. So I want to try a couple different methods with the flowers. So I might add a little bit of pink and then immediately a little bit of white and then see how that goes. And then I'm also going to do, I don't know which molds I'll do it on, but just in general, then I might do pink, let that solidify, harden, then add the layer of white and see which of those methods I like better. And as also the reverse, do white and then the pink. I think I like this lighter pink versus this dark pink. This is a little too dark of a color. And I think that'll still show a little bit against the white. I didn't have anything just a smidge darker, so I'll just use this one. And then I'm also going to watch, like, this is a little not quite white, so I might use it with this one, since this is not completely white either. But for this one, I want to use a candle that's very white, and I have one off to the side there. Well, if I have extra of that, I might use that as well. I decided to fully test this kit out, so I'm going to be using their wicks. They do feel like just real cheap wicks, nothing fancy there. And we have some sticky dots. You could measure this to make sure you get it exactly even. I'm going to do some flowers along the edge, so I don't think I want to go too far over. If I was burning this candle, then I would want it a little bit more evenly spaced. I feel like that might be pretty good. So then there's a piece to peel off. Feed your wick through there. That'll hold it up straight for us. Alright, there's our candle wick. So our candle is prepped. We now need to pour this into our cup and start microwaving it. So that's definitely going to be more than enough. So I think I'm going to just go with this, heat this up, and see how much it fills a container. Use a spoon to stir it every 30 seconds. And then we'll pour it into this guy here. I do have my leveling table. This is just silicone mat to protect it. And all it does is there's this little level in the middle here. And you can see that it's level because the dot's in the center. So we'll just set the candle on that. I'll put another silicone mat down so I don't spill it on the mat, on the table itself, and then we'll pour this in here once it's melted. So I have my mixture here. It did, within the first 30 seconds, the cup did get very hot, so I'm glad they had that little extra thing to protect it, the sleeve. And then I think by the third 30 seconds, I started to notice it started to melt, and then it seemed like it wasn't melting for a while, and then all of a sudden it started to go. It did take, again, I don't know how many 30-second intervals, but just keep going till it melts like this. It says add a vanilla scent. I don't think it smells like vanilla. It's strong. I can't think what that fragrance is, but it's not necessarily vanilla. We'll add just a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of that one, but we didn't buy it for the fragrance. Alright, so again, this is not all of it, so we'll see how much this fills. It was pretty full, and that's about how much it melts down to. We have a table. I think our wicks look pretty good. I think I want to make it go all the way to the top, so I'm going to go and melt the rest of these now. And it looks like it did, so probably 1.5 cups is how much is in that one little bag, just so you know. I have our next batch, and you can see it's already starting to get a little hard on the edges. That's all right. Alright, that looks good. Oh shoot, I have to peel that off when it hardens. I'm just going to try to add my silicone. What's here? So this one has a little bit of the pink that has, still soft but a little bit harder. So now we will pour the white on top. And now we will do white first, and then finish that one with the pink. It's nice doing just little bits at a time, but the candle warmer is quite slow, so I might need to warm them up a little bit faster to do the mix. Alright, so now here's some of the pink with the hood white. A little full, but that's alright. So those are the two where I waited for the one layer to harden before adding the other. So now I'm going to try to do a mix for those, and then the rest I'm just going to fill with extra white. So to get the mix method for these, mixing the white and the pink, I actually just took my spoon and scraped off some of this candle into a cup, and I'm going to microwave that. I only have one candle warmer, so it kind of goes slow, and by the time the one heats up and then it kind of hardens, so I think I'm going to do it this way so I can get that nice mix and see how that turns out versus the layering. It should also be noted that when I scraped this out, it was already kind of melty and soft from doing these two, so it made it easier to scrape. And this, I did the 30 seconds 3 times, stirring each time. So. Oh, that was way too much. That's all right. I think for this one I'm going to do a swirl. So I'm going to do a combo of both the white and the pink together and see how that looks. And then I'm just letting this solidify, and then once it's solidified, then it'll peel off. That's what I did with the edges there. Right, that looked pretty good. I'm gonna let this stuff cool. I might fill some of those empty ones, but then we'll unmold it once everything has cooled. This got a little bumpy in areas, but we'll take a torch to it and kind of help melt it. I also noticed that my sticks, since it's at the top, they're kind of stuck. So we'll see how that turns out with that. But yeah, just note that, watch that for that, but we'll deal with that when we're ready for it. So I think it's time to demold some of these. This actually still feels warm. They did say wait 24 hours, so we'll keep letting that sit. But I think these feel pretty good. So this was the mixture of the pink and the white, and I swirled it together. I don't know if you can tell, but it does have a nice light pink throughout, which is really pretty. So these are the ones where I did the pink, let it solidify a little bit, and then the white. I think I like this where it's swirled better than the solids, but that's just me. And then this is the white and then the pink on top. Since the pink is so light, it's just a subtle change. It's pretty, it gives it just a little. Might be able to see it against the white better. This is why they say wait 24 hours. Apparently I just cracked it because I picked it up. These pieces that leaked over, once you let them harden, they just kind of peel right off. And then you can put them back and remelt them. So if any of your flowers break and you don't like them, that's a nice thing. You can just put them back in. So these are the ones where when it was still wet, I poured the color on it. So this started pink and then white on top. That one would be similar to this one. It doesn't seem to be too much of a difference. You do notice a little bit more of the color here, but it could be because it's a bigger flower. So letting it harden didn't necessarily make a huge difference. This is the pink, and then immediately after the white was poured over. Which is similar to this one. So this one, it kind of all sat on one side. This one that's kind of pretty, you do have a little bit of the white in the tip. So I think I like this flower the best out of all of these. So again, that was with the white and immediately the pink after. It's my favorite. And then here's just a nice big white flower. Did a little leaf. This one's a little too tall, so I don't think I'm going to use that, but I just, something like that, it's nice and elegant. Can't decide if I want to do a few more flowers or leave it with just 3. Might be pretty to do one more over there, 1 or 2 over here. I might do 1 or 2 more of the pink and white combos, like maybe that one and that one, just to see what it looks like. And then I'm going to make a lot more white flowers, all of them but this one here, and some more leaves. And then we'll smooth all this out once it fully dries. So it hasn't been 24 hours, but our candle is pretty solid. As you can see, we have some cracking here that did happen. And then we have some weird little spots here where the toothpick things were. So what I would do to even this out is heat it up, and then it'll kind of help self-level itself. Let's first take this off because that's on there pretty well. I also kind of messed with it, didn't let it set completely, but sometimes that happens with wax, that it cracks, so it might go in. And all you have to do to fix that is just warm it up. Slow method would be with a lighter and heat all the sections. You could try to heat up some wax and just pour it over and level it out. We are a little bit at the top, so you gotta watch that you don't go over. And this is what I have left of that candle. So I ended up using, or will be using, all of that candle. So we'll set that aside. So I did kind of just play around with the flowers here, and I think I like this arrangement. I haven't secured them in place yet. My husband actually came home and looked at it and was surprised that I actually made those. He didn't believe I made these flowers. He thought they looked so pretty. So I really like how that little pink turned out. Really just steps it up, and it matches with that rose gold. Now the candle itself is kind of yellowed a little bit, so I think I'm gonna actually, so what I was originally gonna do was take my lighter, heat it up, and then just place each of these and be done. But since this is a little yellowed and we have some space, I'm gonna heat this up, pour a little bit in, just a kind of a thin top layer, and set these flowers on top, and just do it that way instead, and that way it'll be a nice white top on top. I do have a lot of these flowers. So now that those are gone, I do just kind of want to play around and see which flowers I might need to make more of before I use up all of my wax. Just kind of play with some different techniques, different styles. I did do a little cherry blossom from the leaf section. I thought about doing a leaf here, but I don't know if I'm going to. I think I'm going to leave it without leaves. It does look pretty with the leaves too, but I think I'm just going to do this one flowers, but I'll do some leaves with this one. I think I keep kind of going back to this cluster of like a bunch and then two. So I think that might be kind of what I go with. I think I might make a few more leaves if I have extra. I thought about doing an even and an even, but I'm kind of liking this odd amount, I think. is our finished products. I think they look beautiful, and they'll be beautiful to set out and display. They look like fancy, elegant candles that you spend a lot for. And we only spent 20 bucks on this, plus, well, I technically had the molds, and the other candle I actually bought from Kroger in their after Christmas sale. I did want to note the drops I did for the scent didn't really come through. It doesn't really smell like anything. I smelled it. Right now I just smell the Christmas one. But even before I put the flowers on, I smelled this and it didn't smell like anything. Just a little bump there, but I was afraid to get the flame too close to that because I didn't want to set the wick on fire. But I think this turned out beautiful. Very high-end looking. And then this one is just absolutely gorgeous as well. And I really like having that just little bit of color to it. Just really takes it to that next level. So definitely not going to burn either one of these. I'm going to just leave them out as displays. But I'm really happy with how they turned out. And that's a great way to dress up any candles you have. If you have any just really pretty containers, you can put wax in them. Or if you just have a candle, you can elevate it. They'd make great gifts, great Mother's Day gifts. Mother's Day is coming up. Or birthdays or anything like that. Weddings would be great as well. But yeah, I would recommend this kit. Is it perfect? No, I think, don't know if the cracking was me picking it up because it did crack when I picked it up. But as you saw, I mean, we just kind of melted it again and now it's fine. So it's easy to fix if you have any cracks or bowing, just remelt it and it's a candle. It melts back pretty well. And then just adding those flowers is just that extra little touch I think that was needed. I mean, it was beautiful on its own, but I just really like adding those flowers to it. And these molds are just beautiful. So I will try to remember if I can find them still, because I bought the molds a little while ago. But I'll try to link all of those down below. And I hope you give this kit a go. If not, maybe just add flowers to an existing candle. I really have a lot of fun making these candles, and it's easy and it just elevates it. So I hope you give it a try as well. I hope you had fun testing out this craft kit with me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. I forgot to mention I still have this little guy I did not use. He just was a little tall. He seemed to be too tall, so I did not. But he could be a cool little wax melt. So if you want to make the flowers and just have them as wax melts, that would work as well.